don't deny there's some strange evolutionary process going on, but mankind won't lose to it. The fact that you and I are working here today is evidence of that.
I got this type wifey with a real tight body. She's the real chicken from my side. The guy got me, give me strength when I'm feeling weak. She picked me up, lift my spirits to the highest peak. Sweet buttercup, that's what's up. Always got my back, right by my side. Shotgun passenger when we go for a ride. That's my bride to be, treat her like Christ treat me. I can see easily that she complete me. That's how it be. This girl is like Proverbs 31. Carry your gun, let's go and shoot at targets for fun. God is number one, but I'm number two on the list. Feels like I'm on cloud nine whenever we kiss. I reminisce, I never felt love like this. Try to do it on my own, but I always miss. But this is it, God has sent the one for me. Bless me with a wife and 2 kids, a family. I know I'm tired of being alone, alone. Being home all on my own. I pray that he will send to me someone that is just like me. I'm glad to meet you, my apocalypse. You're the heartbeat that's beating fast inside of me. The one I need right by my side to get through prophecy. Ain't no stopping me, you bringing out the best in me. You and I together, it's a real good recipe. And you can see the whole world is changing rapidly. Teach the word of God together, all for his glory. True love story, me and you, we live our life for Christ. Believe in him because he was the perfect sacrifice. You don't think twice about it, you always on your grind. You're quick to tell me that you love me and I'm on your mind. And I'm so thankful that the Lord has sent you past my way. I love it when we talk all day and in the end we finally pray. It's on my brain, you stay without you there is emptiness. The day I met you is the day that I will not forget. We see eye to eye, real love, we keep each other in check. Sharp like ninja swords, apocalypse of much respect. I know I'm tired of being alone. Being home all on my own. I pray that he will send to me someone that is just like me. I'm glad to meet you, my apocalypse. Tired of being alone. Being home all on my own. I pray that he will send to me someone that is just like me. I'm glad to meet you, my apocalypse.
RV, meow.
Oh, there you are talking about RV when we are going live. Welcome, Shawn. Oh, my camera. I don't think my camera looks like it's. Yeah, whatever. Anyway.
What is this place?
Yeah, you're stuck in a box. You're stuck in a.
Yes.
You're stuck in a house of mirrors.
I must push through here.
Tell us about the song we just heard.
Oh, hello, y'all. What's going down? My name is Ninja Scroll. Oh, how you doing?
Shawn.
Okay, Shawn, today. Yeah, that song that you heard was from my new album, On the Soapbox. It's that song was called My Apocalypse. Brand new. You heard it first right here on ENS News Talk. Thank you for playing that.
Well, of course. I love it. It's a great song. I wonder if I'm... Oh, okay.
What?
I'm trying not to fade into the background. I'm checking out my green screen.
Well,
we have a few things. Noel says Ninja Scroll as in the anime. I assume question mark.
Yes. I got the name from Buddha Monk of Wu-Tang Clan when I was running with them cats back in the 90s. Yes, Ninja Scroll as in the anime. Yes.
We don't have a lot of stuff, but I think what we might talk about first is this Kentucky principal probed after lap dancing at homecoming event. What do you got to say about that?
Oh, man, come on. I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's just crazy how these things are coming out like this, and it's like no uproar. I mean, like, I guess it was got a little bit of backlash.
Well, I'll read some of the article. It says a Kentucky school district is investigating after a teenage boy gave lap dances to his high school principal and other staff members during a homecoming event. Our other provocative photos of spirit events at Hazard High School posted on social media showed teen girls parading around the gym dressed as Hooters waitresses and boys being paddled. This is amazing that they even thought this was a good idea, and then they posted it to their own school website. The most eyebrow-raising pictures show a teen dancing seductively near Donald Happy Mobilini, who is both principal of Hazard High School and the city's mayor. The administrator is standing with a big grin on his face, while the boy, clad in a black dress, bends over in front of him. And that picture is somewhere here. It's pretty gross. Anyway, the incident is under investigation. Yeah, I'm sure it is. The reported pictures have all been deleted from the Hazard High School Athletics Facebook page, which is where they posted them, thinking this was just fine. And I'm thinking, what kind of boys are doing this? Are these homosexual boys, or what are we looking at here?
I don't know. Maybe they think it was cool to joke like that, maybe. I don't know. But
how could you rub your butt against a man's genital area and feel like that's not weird?
I don't know. I just know that when they say the investigation is ongoing, we haven't heard that story came out weeks ago, I think.
Was it weeks ago?
Like a week ago,
October 27th. That's a week.
Yeah, about a week ago, and I haven't heard anything since. Why don't we?
This guy has already been twice investigated for alcohol incidents involving students. So, I mean, why would they change anything? Photos surfaced of him driving kids around as they drank and smoked, and he's still the principal of this school. So, obviously, the kids like him.
Yeah, but I still would like to know if there's anything going on as far as an investigation and what they came up with. Is this guy getting jail time? Is anything happening to him? Or is it just, okay, just stop talking about it like the news always does. If the news stops talking about it, that means it didn't happen.
Yeah, they'll probably go into what's called the memory hole from, 1984, where you just distract and then the thing goes to the memory hole. People forget all about it a few days later.
And then you're good to go. And then, okay, nothing much to do anything. Nothing to see here. Move on. Do it.
Yeah, moving along. Okay. I guess nothing else to say about that. That's just gross.
I have nothing to say. Well, do you have anything else you want to say? Are you good?
No, there's something here that you posted from Vincent Rhodes.
Oh, I don't know if that's going to show up. It might.
It is launching a study to see if there is a possible connection. Nations increase, thousands of women reporting a potential side effect when it comes to their menstrual cycles. Now the National Institute of Health is launching a study to see if there is a possible connection. CBS's Dina Demetrius reports.
When Dr. Catherine Lee got her COVID vaccine, she experienced something unexpected.
I ended up with really strong cramps and a little bit of breakthrough bleeding after both vaccines.
After a friend and fellow scientist had similar changes after the shot, they created
I was saying that this is probably going to cause us some problems since they're saying all the words that we're not allowed to say, so I'm going to stop it. But it's talking about effects of the jab on women's menstrual cycles. So I think that you were the one that posted this.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Now I can't remember what it was, but yes. Sorry. I forgot. I forgot that.
No idea why I posted it. Well, you and I were talking.
We posted it because of the snake bite, effects of the snake bite. That's why I posted it. I'm just saying I don't remember what it was about, but now you just played it, so now I remember it was about the women's menstrual cycle being affected by the snake bite. So,
and also,
bottom line is, go ahead.
We were talking about the shedding thing today too.
Oh, right. But what I'm saying is, like, the snake bite, we all know, most of us know and should know, that it's dangerous and it's not effective. Number one, it's not effective, because if it was effective, then it would work. But there's nothing for it to work against. But if there was something for it to work against, it will work. But it doesn't work, so it's not effective. We keep pushing that the snake bite is effective and safe. Safe and effective are the words that we keep hearing, and it's not safe because people's menstrual cycles are getting jacked up, and then people are shedding. I don't know how true that is because I don't see it like that, but it could be. And there's blood clots happening, and all kind of stuff is going on. So is it safe? No. Now let's talk about effective. Look up the word effective. Is it effective? If it's effective, then those who got the snake bite shouldn't be worried about those who don't get the snake bite because it's effective. But it's not effective. And then they'll tell you, well, it's effective for 6 months. Okay, it still ain't effective because people are still wearing masks because they say that you still need to wear a mask just in case. It's not effective, it's not safe, and there's nothing out here for it to be effective and safe against, because it's not even real.
We were talking about the possibility of the shedding idea, but you and I, now I don't know. Now I think that there's maybe some jabs out there that have stuff in it that is bad, really, really bad. And I think that maybe there's a lot that don't. That's been my theory, because I think that will help to make those of us talking about it look bad, because then most people will be fine. Possibly. They might not be. Maybe in a couple of years they won't. But for now, most people are fine and they're not having problems. And you and I are around jabbed people all the time, and we're not getting any personal symptoms. I'm not having any of these things that they're saying women are going through just by being around jabbed people. And I'm around them 3 days a week for at least an hour, sometimes more. There's people I don't know that I'm around that possibly have the jab, and same for my kids and things like that. So I don't know. What do you think about all that?
Well, I'm thinking, like, if everybody just realized that there was more than two options. They always only give us two options. When you vote, the two options they push is Republican and Democrat. All right? Every time they give us options, it's only two. Maybe there's more than two. Maybe there's the China joint, and maybe there's natural, and then maybe there's none. Why can't there be a third choice? Why can't it be, it's not here? There is no 6-foot killer. Why can't that be a choice? Why do people fight us on that? I'm segueing into something else. I hope you understand that. But why do people fight us on that? On the fact that maybe there is no 6-foot killer. The choices they always give us is it came from here and it came from here. That's it. That's all we can tell you. We can't, there are no more choices. That's it. If they were,
it's real, that's your choices. Right. You have to decide that it's real. You have to believe that it's real.
You have to decide that it's real from this person or it's real from this person. You have to decide whether it's real from China or from a bat or some man made it. That's the only choices they give us. But we have to look between the choices. We keep saying it. Same thing with 911. It was planes, or it was thermite. But what about is there another choice? Is there direct energy weapons? Why don't we look at all possibilities instead of just the two that they give us? I think that's the issue. So if we decided to look at the third choice, a different possibility, would any of this matter? We wouldn't care. about if the third choice was possible, in which it is, and I know that's what it is. But if everybody believed in the third choice, then you wouldn't have to worry about blood clots and all that stuff, because you wouldn't be getting a snake bite. Nobody would. But because we only believe in this choice or this choice, which is the same choice, there's no choice. It's just there. But they make you think it's a choice. And because we don't believe in a third choice, a third option, we just take the options they give us. And now the solution is snake bite. Come on, y'all. It's common sense.
Is that the segue?
You got it. I was looking at that. Ah! Look what I just did.
I can't. Nobody can hear me. I was muted, but that's okay. I'm back now. I should probably change it because I'm talking about my backdrop. Here, let's change it to something else. There we go. Now you see the same thing, but everybody else sees this beautiful, vibrant light now instead of the horns, so that somebody doesn't come along and decide that I'm trying to do Baphomet stuff or weird things. Anyway, the other day hey, welcome. It's okay if you're late, and thanks for letting me know I was muted. Anyway, on this post, I posted this the other day, and it says, truthers using horse medicine for fake illnesses. And the guy's like, making that look like, really? And a lot of people, this kicked a hornet's nest, so to speak, because everybody got pretty mad that I would call it. I didn't make the meme, guys. I just posted it. But calling it horse medicine. People got really hung up on that, and they said, it's not horse medicine, and it works. And I'm like, it works for what? So before I had the title on here, it says, and this is where I'm at, come on, guys, the virus is not real. And that's all it said. It didn't say anything else, but I finally changed it. And I said, parasites are not new. Taking ivermectin for them now is like wearing a mask to protect you from COVID. If you didn't need it before, you don't need it now. And that's something that you and I are talking about, because why is everybody so hung up on needing this now? Why do they think that this Hydra or anything else is anything that hasn't? In fact, Hydra lives in natural waters, like ponds and rivers and streams and things. So if you were around it before, why do you need all hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin now? All they are is still big pharma. They were created. Right. They were created from big pharma. Maybe they're cheap now, but that doesn't mean they're a good idea to ingest. And by the way, they say it comes from a fungus. And what have I said? If it comes from a fungus, go find that fungus and find a way to take this naturally. But people got pretty upset about this post, right?
People got hot. It was heated. And I know you tagged me in it. And I said this on my show. Well, you're going to hear my show tomorrow, but I recorded it last night. And I felt bad because you tagged me in it. And I did want to come in and chime in, but it was a lot of people chiming in on your side. So I didn't feel the need to. But I'm watching a couple cats talk on there, and I'm like, I almost wanted to say to you, like, just stop, because these people don't want to hear what you guys say. They're not listening. And that's what you're going to hear me say on my show tomorrow, is people don't want to hear what you got to say. People want to hear what Fauci got to say. They want to hear what Biden and whoever else, all these experts and politicians and great people.
These aren't people like that. These aren't people on the left.
These they don't have to be on the left. These
just
are just
pointing
people.
that out to anyone listening, that these weren't people that are listening to Fauci that said any of this stuff.
But what I'm saying is these are people that follow. They follow whatever the narrative is, and they're going to listen. These are the same type of people that only go through them same two choices, either this or this. There is no middle. So they're going to, anyway, dude was coming at you. The one dude was coming at you saying, he knows it's real because he had aches in his hips and all kind of symptoms, right? So he's talking and I'm reading through the symptoms. And I remember last April when I moved into this house I'm in now, it was a really stressful move. It was really stressful. I basically had to move my whole house by myself. I got 2 daughters who don't do nothing. Stop playing with me. Nah, I'm just messing around. I got two daughters that, kids is lazy, so they wasn't really doing nothing. I'm trying to make sure they get everything packed up. I'm trying to pack up the house. I got dumpsters outside. I'm throwing away all old furniture and old stuff because I'm getting all new stuff. And I'm like, it was real stressful. And then the day before the move, the mortgage companies called me. This is wrong. We gotta get this fixed. And it was real stressful. Anyway, I ended up getting sick. I went to work for like 3 days and ended up getting sick. And every symptom that dude had, I had. So I'm thinking to myself, y'all gonna hear all this tomorrow, by the way, if you listen to my show. So just listen again. And I'm like, do I have the 6-foot killer? I'm thinking I had the 6-foot killer. And now you already know me that I ain't about the 6-foot killer, but they had me believing it because every symptom that the 6-foot killer was saying was what I had. So I'm like, man, do I got the 6-foot killer down? I got diarrhea. I know I'm going on, but just wait a minute. I had diarrhea and all that stuff, right? So I'm like, so I'm looking up symptoms of stomach viruses, and they're the same as the 6-foot killer. So I'm like, I just got a stomach virus, man. So my job tells me you have to take a 6-foot killer test before you can come back to work. So I took the 6-foot killer test. And guess what? I didn't have the 6-foot killer according to that test. So if dude had the same symptoms that I had, and he says he had the 6-foot killer, my test said I didn't have the 6-foot killer. And we had the same exact symptoms. So what does that say? To me, it's either there's a 6-foot killer or there's not a 6-foot killer. I don't believe the 6-foot killer because I know what I had, which is stomach virus, which is the same thing. So all they're doing is just taking symptoms from flus and all these other things that we always get and putting another name on it, the same way they put a name on the flu. They gave us the name the flu for a reason, so they can have a season, so they can sell their drugs. They drug dealers, y'all. Legal drug kingpins. They drug dealers. They make money by selling drugs. If we don't buy into the drug system, they can't make money. So they have to make seasons. There's a flu season here, and there's a this season here, and there's a that season here. So everybody runs out to the store to get cough medicine when we're supposed to cough up phlegm. Your body's doing that on purpose. Your body's coughing up to get that out. But they give you cough medicine to suppress it. Does that make sense?
Yes, in the medical field, it does make sense. Yeah, if you see, there's 98 comments on this, and a lot of them were stuff about, well, this is human okay, so everybody is saying the words programmable matter right now and transhumanism and Hydra. And that's because for some reason this Carrie Madej person has carried the nation away, who is getting out there and telling a lot of information that she says they want to kill her for, but she's alive and well and getting a lot of views and getting a lot of attention. And it's not that you and I don't understand the transhumanism agenda. We very much understand it. Yes. What people are distracted by is parasites called Hydra that are nothing new. This is not a new parasite, and you don't need to take a pharmacological drug, pharmakia drug, for it. It's not new. And if you're not getting the jab, you're not getting injected with it if that's what you believe is in there. Also, I think as a distraction is the graphene oxide. Now, I don't know, maybe programmable matter will be made with that. But what people don't realize is there's 2 other things that go along with programmable matter. And I wanted to announce that I am going to be doing another production, one more production, probably my last one. I can't know for sure, but I'm going to do another one like I used to do. And I'm going to talk about this because there's 2 other things that go along with programmable matter. There's microfluidics, okay? And that's what people don't know what microfluidics is, but when you read about microfluidics, you figure out, oh, this kind of goes along with that. And then there's also synthetic biology. If you don't have synthetic biology with the microfluidics and the programmable matter, I don't think we're going to have transhumanism. But they just go on very, very, very little information. They go on what some doctor says she sees in blurry pictures, and then doesn't even get video footage. And I showed you guys how good the video footage is of the Hydra, and they can get up to 100, 200, and 500 times and see it see even the little cells moving inside the little creature. So if they can get that close, why does she have a blurry still? Anyway, I know I've said this multiple times, but in this production that I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to the beginning and remind you guys this isn't the first time DNA has been tried to be corrupted, and exactly what it needs to be done to corrupt the DNA fully. It's not just going to be bits and pieces of edited genome. In fact, genome editing is not the final goal. The final goal is to completely create a whole DNA strand. And I think Anthony Patch has it wrong, and I think Nicholson 1968 has it wrong. I think those guys did the very surface of research enough to go, I've got it all figured out. 5G is going to cause it, and it's going to be a third strand DNA with gold. But that's wrong, because gold is not a super... Anyway, I'm going to stop. It can't be gold. And I'm very excited about this new production. I read the script to Shawn last night, and he approved of 66% of it.
It was my approval got to do with anything. It got nothing to do with my approval. The bottom line is you connected a lot of dots in this, and I don't want you... Stop it. That's Beatrice back there whining. I don't want you to give away your production, because it does have a lot of good information. You collected a lot of dots, and I was just going to bring up this. It kind of brings in the whole build back better thing. You know what I'm saying? When you tear down and you rebuild, and we talk a little bit about that with the 9/11 thing, how they tore down the two and made them into one. You know, so that's like two strands of DNA combined to make one full, powerful, strong DNA called One World Trade Center, the tallest building in the world, with the antenna being put on top on May 1st. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we talked about that with the 3-cord strand that is not easy, that is uneasily broken, and I'll mention that too. I don't think I'm really giving much away, because people will watch that production that aren't here, so it's kind of like, why not talk about some of the same stuff? But I think that at least, and I'm okay with being wrong with some of these things, but we'll get into the serpent seed a little bit on it, but also the fallen angels, and then ultimately talking about what I think that has to be done with the third strand DNA, and what I think is going on with CERN and the new Hadron Collider they're building in China that's going to be even bigger than CERN. What these things might actually ultimately have their use for is 5G's just too short wave. It can't go very far. So how can they control us with 5G? We just got to get out of town. Oh, they're putting it up in the country too. Yes, but it really doesn't go very far. So they can't put it everywhere. There's places that are just too hard to get to put up towers.
I just have to say, what you're doing in this production is really good. And what it's doing is just backing up what they are saying, what the elite are saying, what these people, the globalists, the people that are trying to do this, what they're saying. What they're saying is the whole Build Back Better thing is not just a government or a political thing. It's they want to build you back better. They don't think that we are evolving. Evolution never occurred. Since day one, we never evolved. And they have been preaching evolution. So this is where the transhumanism comes in. They are going to force evolution. And by forcing evolution, we are talking about with the snake bite, doing things with the snake bite that will force us to evolve into something better. They want to tear down the old man and rebuild better. Us, not just the system, but us too. Build back better.
I wanted to address that the graphene is highly conductive, but conductivity does not mean superconductivity. So graphene oxide being conducive, having a high conductivity doesn't matter. I'm repeating myself, don't worry guys. It doesn't need to, anything that has good conductivity doesn't make it a good superconductor. So interestingly enough, gold and silver are poor superconductors, because you have, a superconductor has to be brought down to such a cold temperature to work. And when you do that with gold and silver, it doesn't do that. It doesn't become the superconductor that we would need to have to be satellites for these, so that we could be superconductors and controlled from 5G. But the thing about a superconductor is it can travel long distance. So, lead is a good superconductor. Copper is a pretty good superconductor. There's several others they use. There has been an instance where gold was able to be used in an alloy type setting where it was a superconductor, but I'd have to look up whether graphene oxide is a superconductor, which is something I could do. That's something we could easily look up. Graphene oxide superconductor. And of course, I wouldn't just take the first, I'd have to actually go through some of these.
Yeah, to research it, and I think that's a problem with a lot of people nowadays is not just people that watch YouTube videos but researchers. We just look up the first thing, here it is right there, and then we run with it. You know what I'm saying? We listen to YouTubers say one thing, and we just, okay, he said it. That's Nicholson. He knows, and you run with it. We got to stop doing that. I think we said that in so many other shows. That we have to start looking at stuff and finding out the truth and using discernment to find out the truth for ourselves.
It looks like that it might be able to be a superconductive. So it's probably going to have some kind of role in this future third strand stuff. But I don't know.
Who brought that up in the chat room?
Oh, Mr. Knowledge 2020, who is going to do a show with me tomorrow.
My man, good job. Good work, bro.
Anyway, I'm finding some articles talking about it as a superconductor, so very well could be. That's something to add in. I do need to. I'm not done with the script, so I do need to bring up the graphene oxide discussion because it could have a role in the programmable matter of the situation. Because, like I said, we've got three things that we're dealing with. We've got microfluidics, and we've got programmable matter, and we've got synthetic biology. So I think we've got three things going on here, not just programmable matter. And the superconductivity is going to be important in all those things, I would think. So it looks like, just on a quick search without reading these articles, that graphene oxide has some superconductivity capabilities. So there you go.
That's good work, both of y'all. Good work. Bottom line is, I always say we have to stop just taking the first thing that we hear and running with it. And that includes listening to me and listening to her. Y'all got to look at us the same way and be like, I don't know what that cat's talking about. He keeps talking about the 6 foot kill ain't real. I'm going to figure that out myself. I want y'all to do that. I want you to use every bit of information you can get, but use your eyes, use your common sense as well. Let the Lord lead you to where you need to go, because you can't just believe what everybody says. That's how we got in this mess in the first place.
Okay, well, that's great. We have a lot we could say about that, but lastly, just regarding that Facebook post, I just want to summarize that the reason, as I've told you guys many times, I don't think that there is a new virus or a new parasite unless you get the jab, and then there's something to that you shouldn't get, so don't get that. But I don't think you need to take this stuff. I don't even think you need to bother with it, and there's natural forms of it, so go as natural as you can if you're going to do it, but don't get into big pharma. We just don't. Yeah, these drugs have been around a long time, and maybe there's absolutely no side effect to it. I'm just going to stay away myself. So that's the bottom line I wanted to make about that. Anything else you want to say before we move on to cows wearing masks?
No, let's move on to the cow mask, John. Let's move on.
All right. This mask for cows isn't for FOVID. It helps reduce methane emissions. It's really odd looking. It goes, if you're just listening, it goes over the nose. It doesn't even cover the mouth, and it straps around the back of their head. So as the world eats more and more beef, cows' global warming causing burps become more of a problem. This bovine wearable could help. It's very, very lovely too. I'm sure the cows will enjoy this. In a year, a single cow can belch. And by the way, this doesn't address how methane gas also escapes them another way, just the belching. In a year, a single cow can belch around 220 pounds of methane, a short-lived but potent, oops, I got to move us out of the way. I forgot that I had us up there. Okay. A potent greenhouse gas. Much smaller amount is emitted in cow farts. Oh, okay. Now I've never heard of the belching being a problem. But anyway, there are 1 billion cattle on the planet, and over the next few decades, the UN predicts that beef and dairy consumption will jump up 70%. If the number of cows grows as expected, so will global warming. I thought they called it climate change now.
Well, they flip flop. They gotta keep your mind on a boogeyman. If you keep saying the boogeyman's name one way, we get used to that and we say it ain't no boogeyman. So you gotta flip it back to the other boogeyman's name. So the boogeyman is still here. It's so funny. This is just funny because the whole 6-foot killer thing and all that is surrounded by and hugged by global warming. Isn't that funny? Think about it. There's one big boogeyman out there. And all these small boogeymen to help keep you in check. And then you got this big boogeyman that's hugging all of them. And that's global warming. He's hugging them all.
There was somebody that put up some kind of chart, I wish I would have kept it, of all of the different things. I think it was on a meme. In the 70s, in the 50s, we were all going to be dead by like 1970. And then there was a few in between, I can't remember. And then in the 80s, we had acid rain that was going to destroy. Oh, and I guess the Maldives were going to be gone by 2000 or something. And then it just goes through each scare tactic that's been since 1950. And I'm like, it's just sad that a new generation falls for it. Because that's who's falling for it the most are the kids.
Yeah. Well, we keep falling for it, and they keep using the same tactic. They keep doing it because we fall for it. And we have to understand that fear is a major component in marketing even. Marketing is a major component in marketing practices. When a store wants you to buy something, they'll say, hurry up and get it, there's only one left. Oh, I better get mine. You know what I'm saying? Fear is used to control us. So the whole 6-foot killer thing, I'm going back to it, is a fear tactic they're using to control us. And it's working hook, line, and sinker. And then you got global warming on top of that, hugging the 6-foot killer. And now we're afraid again. They keep telling us that the ice caps is melting in.
Remember I told you the other day that I was on the treadmill and they have this little, it must have been like a GoPro or something, and they film this trail. And if you can look at the trail while you're running on the treadmill on this little TV screen. And so as it's going on Hawaii, the island of Hawaii, it takes you through different trails and it explains stuff about it. And it says Hawaii is growing every year so many feet. I can't remember how many feet. I would have screenshot it, but it just comes up for a second and I'm running, right? So I didn't, but it just comes up for a second and it says the island of Hawaii grows this many feet every year. And I'm like, wait a minute. I thought we were going to all be underwater and that California and New York would be gone and all that stuff, but Hawaii in the meantime is growing. It's growing in size.
Apparently they don't have this size. It's like Neil deGrasse Tyson saying that the world is looks like a pear. He said because it's spinning, so it's like a pear. But then they show pictures of the Earth perfectly round. Which one is it? The newest pictures of the Earth is supposedly is perfectly round, but Neil deGrasse Tyson says it looks like a pear. What is it? What is it? Oh, we know it's.
Well, let's finish this article, I guess. Let's see.
Yeah, let's do it.
So while some startups try to tackle the problem with plant-based burgers designed to convert carnivores or seaweed supplements that make cows less gassy, one company is trying to capture emissions directly with a mask-like device that sits above the cow's nose. Because of our background in livestock, quote, because of our background in livestock farming, we knew that cattle exhale most of the methane through their mouth and nostrils. Well, the mouth's not covered, but okay. So the obvious approach was to work on a device that would capture these emissions at the source, says Francisco Norris, CEO of Zelp, the UK-based startup. A sensor on the device detects the methane as the cow or bull breathes, and when the levels of the gas pass a certain threshold, the technology draws the methane into the mask to a mechanism that oxidizes the gas, turning it into less potent CO2 and water vapor. It's similar to a catalytic converter on a car. By doing this, we are effectively reducing the animal's emissions to less than 2%. So now we don't just have car emissions, we have cow emissions. Amazing.
This is all leading to not eating meat.
Of course it is. Because obviously the creator did not, or the Most High did not create a world where this could be fixed on its own. We needed masks to do this.
We gotta fix it.
Yeah. Peter Birdsall says hi.
Peter! What's up,
Who's the
homie?
handsome man?
Who?
He said, who's the handsome man? It must be you, because I don't think it's me.
No, it's Knowledge 2020. Homeboy. That ain't me. He right here.
Okay. Well, anyway, Norris, who co-founded the company with his brother Patricio, comes from a cattle ranching family in Argentina and says that the team is focused on making something that is practical for cattle to wear. The design, which is in... Uh-oh, I might sneeze.
COVID.
Yep, that's what it is. Don't say that word.
That. I didn't say. I said Dr. Slovid.
Oh no.
I said Slovid.
Okay. Anyway, the design, which is
killer.
The design, which is in the final stages of product development and is likely to be on the market in 2022. Don't worry, it's coming soon. Aims to last 4 years on an animal without even needing to be changed.
Wow.
Well, this is not going to be healthy without even needing to be changed or recharged.
Just go pick one up for yourself instead of wearing a mask. Put that on you, and it'll suck up your own carbon dioxide that you breathe out, that trees breathe in. Don't worry about it.
Somebody had a question about if I have a backup for this, and here's the link for that, because everything that's under 2 hours automatically, while I still have a YouTube, automatically backs up to Odyssey for now. So, but I will be able to go live on Odyssey if that changes. So the more people that will go over there, the better. There's the link, and I'll pin it to the top.
Peter Birdsall, what's up, homie? What's good?
Even if you don't want to go watch on Odyssey, please go over there and subscribe for now, because we don't know when this could go down. Anyway, let's see. It's also designed to be comfortable, and the team carefully watched for any signs of discomfort. They watched, don't worry. Such as changes in how much a cow ate as it tested prototypes. Did they watch it for 4 years?
Yeah, why not? It's in some bill that we signed. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere there's some bill with $200 billion for somebody to sit back and watch, like they got in Montana, them dudes that be at the gas station. Just watching.
Yeah, what he's talking about is at Sam's Club and Costco, there are gas attendants, but they don't do anything. They just stand around in case I have a question or something, but they don't do anything. I don't really know what they're there for. Anyway, they quote, the CEO says, we want to design a device that is comfortable for the animal to wear, does not interfere with the animal's behavior, and does not impact the animal in any way. But I imagine wearing something like that for 4 years could create some kind of bacteria. But anyway,
how could that be?
Their initial design was a nose ring, but they have since pivoted to find the optimal embodiment and materials that will withstand the tough farm condition and yet cause no discomfort to the animal. Of course, moving on, the best solution would be for the world to consume less beef, reducing both the amount of methane the cows burp and the environmental damage from deforesting more land to use for livestock. There's so many forests. There's plenty of forest out there.
They act like, I can't. I'm done.
But as long as meat consumption trends are headed in the other direction, mitigation is necessary.
Didn't we just say that? We didn't. This is our first time reading this article.
That you said it.
Right. Well,
you said it.
You knew it. Right.
Well, yeah, I know, because they also want you to be iron deprived, which is probably helpful for demon possession. Anyway, it does go on to say don't eat meat, but this device can be helpful in the future. But what did it remind me of is, I don't know if you guys remember this from a while ago, cow VR headsets to make them less anxious. Does anyone remember this? Because I know Canary Cry Newstalk covered it as well. And that's why I ended up covering it, because I thought it was so funny. They've even got a picture of a cow here with a VR headset. So really, they should have this mask, this VR headset. This is going to help them enjoy their life as they produce more milk. They're going to produce more milk because they're living in a whole other world than the one they live in with their fun little VR headset. What do you think about a VR headset for your cow?
I'd like to have one, please.
I'd like to have one, please. I mean, I wonder, do we got it? Which brand do we get?
I don't know. I'm sure Google has one.
There's, well, Oculus from Facebook.
Let me get that. Let me get that.
I think
and a cow. I need a cow, though.
Well, wait a minute. Wait, aren't we adding to the problem if we bring more cows into the picture?
They're virtual cows. I want a virtual cow with a virtual headset, with virtual farts and virtual burp.
And a virtual methane mask.
That's right. I need all that. Hook me up.
We're talking metaverse here.
That's right.
Doc,
back to the metaverse.
Doc
says,
Doc says whales need masks too, probably. Don't you think?
Yeah, they right on top of the hole there, because out of that hole in the whale's head, it's emitting gases that can kill us. The 6-foot killers out there, y'all. Watch your back.
There's probably a connection. There is probably a connection to the fake 6-foot killer to methane and all that stuff. And we really got to stop eating the meat now. How dare you?
Stop eating. That was good. Stop eating the meat and drinking the Kool-Aid. Don't guzzle that down.
Or maybe drink the Kool-Aid if Fauci makes it.
If you could see my face, you'd be like, oh.
I can see your face. You kind of look like the meme of the guy that's saying truthers are taking ivermectin for a fake virus.
You look like that, right?
Yeah. Let's see. I think that you had something else here. You posted about a Subway Tokyo deal, and we should watch this. Hold on. Here it's pretty intense.
I did that?
Yeah. Yes, you did. There was an attack in a Tokyo subway. And
for showing me.
Yeah.
Oh, the knife drawing.
Is that what? And he dressed up like Joker. Should we watch it?
You don't have to. I mean, it's just a knife attack. I basically was just talking about how that's not up in the news. You know what I'm saying? It's not all over the place. Dude was killing people with a knife. And is there such thing as knife violence, or is it just gun violence that we look at? Because you can kill with a lot of things, and I think I posted that just to reinforce that it's not the tools that we use to kill people that's killing people. It's man's heart. Man is evil, not the tool. You can kill somebody with a toothbrush. You can kill somebody with a broom handle. So stop demonizing guns and look at the people. We're evil. Your thoughts?
Yeah, he was dressed like the Joker, and he set one of these cars on fire. And this video doesn't show that, unfortunately. Well, I say unfortunately, I guess it was pretty scary for a lot of people. There was some video or picture of him, I think maybe a still that people took from the video, where he was just sitting there stuck in one of the cars with his Joker outfit on, smoking a cigarette, just totally chill after doing this. So yeah, it takes a person with a certain kind of personality to go and do something like that, and they're going to do it with whatever tool or weapon they possibly have.
Right. It has nothing to do with what he used. It has to do with the person. And until we start realizing that, like they try to legislate, they tell us that drugs are illegal, right? But people still use drugs. You can't stop people from doing what they do. You can't regulate an action. You can't regulate. You can't force people not to be murderers, not to be child abusers, whatever. You can't regulate that. But you know who can regulate that? You know how you can be regulated is if you're born again. When you become born again, when you become a child of the Lord, you don't want to do those things. But see, they tell us that it's always about man fixing stuff. It's always about man regulating and putting out laws and mandates to fix stuff rather than God fixing things. They don't want God to fix it. They think they can fix it by laws and mandates and regulations and all these things. But all that does is just, it doesn't do anything because men are going to do it regardless. I don't care how many laws you put out about not selling drugs, there's still going to be people selling drugs. You can't mandate that. You can't regulate that. You can't make laws and expect people to follow them because they're not going to follow them. Because this man's heart is sinful. So until the entire world realizes that it's just going to be this way, you can't regulate these things, and all it does is take away you and our rights. The people that follow that, not just the laws, but what the Lord says, what the Word of God says, our rights get taken away. We can't have guns because that person can't control himself. Or that person can't control himself. So they take away our rights. But they're going to do it regardless. We'll follow the laws. They won't. They got to stop doing that. I think that's the main reason why I posted this, just to go on a little rant about this. It's just crazy how people will constantly listen and just follow. I'm done. I'm good.
You heard it, folks. He's done. That's it. We're over. It's
out.
Okay, wait. No, we still have something else to talk about, I think.
Out. Oop. Back on.
Anyway, don't forget to get your Cal VR headset and your Cal mask.
That's right. At a store near you, at Walmart.
For your cows.
No, for yourself too. They going put one on you just in case. Over top of your mask.
So I posted this and it's a new TV. It's not that new, but I hadn't heard of it. I guess from 2017. It's a QLED, and if you guys recall, I made a video about Black Mirror, Who's Scrying Now? Yeah, very funny, very funny. Who's scrying now? Anyway, on that video, I talked about the possible importance of having an organic layer in your TV, but then I heard there's a QLED, and this thing is very expensive too. So I just thought it'd be kind of interesting to cover what it is. And it says the LED part, of course, is LED, light emitting diode. The lighting system used in the vast majority of LED LCD TVs for years now. The important bit is the Q of the QLED, which stands for quantum dot. And where have we heard that before, Shawn?
Ooh, isn't there some type of D-Wave computer system or quantum dot tattoo? And all over the place we've heard that.
I think that there could be a connection that I'm not totally prepared to make, but I just thought we'd cover it. That it's very interesting that it's called the quantum dot LED TV. And when I talked about the organic LED, the reason I mentioned that organic layer was necessary for the phones and the TVs is because it creates possibly an organic matter that demons can come through. And we've seen that in movies. We've seen that where demons go through the electricity.
Shocker was one. We call Shocker.
There was a couple. There was one, where it was coming through all the electricity and into the TVs and everything. I mean, Poltergeist comes through the TV. So that's another example. And so
The Ring.
That one was through, VHS and the TV. But it gives the ability where you think about like somebody who can watch everything all at once, and God can already do that. But Satan can't. He's not omnipresent, omnipotent, or any of that stuff. So he can't see everything at once. And this would be, in a way, for him to be able to see everything at once is to have that organic layer that makes the travel possibly easier for demonic entities. Can I prove that? No, but it's pretty odd that they need an organic. How does an organic layer, and it somehow it makes the TV also, it makes the TV look so real. The screen that you're seeing, that you almost don't need VR or AR. I mean, that could be the AR. You don't need a VR headset because the screens are big, they're curved, and I think they can do 3D on them even, and you feel like you're in that space. It takes you away from reality, right? Because it's such a clear image. And possibly you could be being watched through it by demonic powers. And this quantum dot must have some connection with quantum dot tattoos. Is it going to be possibly something where our quantum dot tattoos speak to the TV or control, have some kind of control back and forth with the superconductivity that we talked about earlier? I don't know, right? This would be a whole new project to get into.
It goes pretty deep, like you said. And what was I going to say? Shoot, I just remember somebody tried to call me and just mess up my train of thought. But yeah, it's pretty deep. It's pretty deep when you look at all the stuff that they got going, and like the D wave and the micro dot, whatever system that they got, to put these. Who's that? Yo. Oh shoot, my bad. I got people in the house. But anyway, you go ahead.
It says, given the potential advantages of quantum dot technology, it's important that consumers know when they're buying a quantum dot screen rather than a TV that uses some other. It's important that consumers know when they're buying a quantum dot. I don't know why it doesn't say why. Then some other type. This is where QLED name comes in. So far as I know, the need to establish a name that distinguishes quantum dot screens from other types of LED LCD display was first raised in November 2016. Also, this is a way, I guess, to push it as different. The concluding line of an Insight Media white paper called Quantum Dots Will Power Display Products to the Next Level. So they decided not to call it quantum dot, interestingly enough. We suggest the term QLED that uses quantum dot technology. So if they would have been saying quantum dot all this time,
it would have been a trigger word. Quantum dot tattoos, and people like to add stuff up, like RV Truth. You know what I'm saying? Somebody might add it up. So we can't do that. You got to change the name.
Wanted to be able to push this, furthering the quantum dot cause. Anyway, so I don't have much more to say about it. I mean, the article goes on to talk about how it works to make the image look better. That might be interesting to some of you guys. I can drop the link if somebody wants to do more on that. What I would also recommend is, if you like doing that kind of research, please join the Discord, and I'm dropping the link for that right now, because we like that people will come there and bring information together on this kind of stuff and share it with us. And there's different channels in there on certain topics that you can drop this information, or if you don't feel like there's a good channel for it, because I used to have a really big channel with lots of different stuff, but it got taken down by a troll who I think we've finally shaken, I pray. But this is now like my 4th or 5th Discord server, so it may not have all the spots, but at least there's some places to put this kind of information where we can bring our brains together and come up with possibilities for what this is, like we're talking about with the graphene oxide earlier, and us just learning in a moment that there's plenty of articles that say it's got superconductive capabilities. So that's how we do better, when we bring our brains together, because I can't just come up. I can, I suppose, if God is guiding me, but by myself it's not as good as when we come together and have these discussions.
Agreed.
Did I lose you? Are you there?
I'm right here. I said agreed. All you gotta do is look up here. Hey. Gotcha.
I don't always have your screen in front of me, so
you got 900 screens up.
Yeah, I have this screen. I have the website screen, and I got to click in between that and this, and then I've got the Skype screen, and then the streaming screen. So there you go. It's a lot of multitasking.
I'm here.
I don't think I had anything else for possible live discussion today. So is there anything you want to talk about before we go? Because we're only an hour in, but I don't think we had any other news topics to discuss.
I think we did good. I like the quickness that we did it. I mean, I know we normally go like an hour and a half most of the time, maybe hour and 45 minutes, but this is fine. I'm good. I just want to thank everybody for showing up, those of you that did, and make sure you share it to everybody, because I know I act a little goofy and she acts a little goofy on this show, but it's still information that we are sharing. So share it out with people. We love when y'all come here and listen, because it's just a good place to fellowship. And you don't always have to be all doom and gloom and serious, If you come to my station, you'll see the same thing. I get goofy and funny. So just thank you all for coming out and checking out the show, and hopefully you come back next week.
Yeah, we like to have fun. I think it's okay to joke, and if you don't laugh, you cry, and we don't feel like crying about this kind of information. I get overwhelmed, but yes, we trust in our God, Creator, the Most High, Jesus Christ, our Savior, to keep us, to keep us at peace and having joy still. So if you haven't hit the like, we'd appreciate it. If you think this content is interesting and shareable, please share it. If you don't like it, like Duke says, then you can send it to your enemies.
That's right. Send it to me. I'm your enemy.
Well, he's already watching, sort of. So, I mean.
I am not your enemy.
All right. Well, I'll let you go then for now, and we'll... Yes? Did you want to say something?
I just find saying,
Oh, okay. Who knows with this guy? Who knows?
You never know about me.
All right. Well, I'll close it down with some music from Ninja Scroll.
Oh.
So don't leave, guys. Got some Ninja Scroll coming. But I will say goodbye to you for now.
See y'all later.
Bye.
Love y'all.
Peace.
God bless y'all. Peace.
I guessed that you would be the only one who would dare to come here. You've got courage.
Deep thoughts stay into my mind. Sometimes I wish that I was still blind and couldn't see how you fall for these things. The great deceiver pulling all of the strings. No drill, no test. Got you running around in a girl's dress. What a mess. Little Nas X, mind twisted. Lifeboat, you missed it. See it sailing off in the distance with no resistance. You fell for the lion, Satan persistent. He got his claws dug in deep. Even tells you when to speak, you ain't free. You in bondage to sinning. He got you thinking losing is winning. Murderer since day one. The only way out is to repent, believe in God's son. We're coming to expose the The truth will set the world on fire. I'm ringing bells like ding dong. Some of y'all told just might get stepped on in this song. You belong to the father of lies. Put your idols on pedestals and raise them up high. Kenneth Copeland style, Joyce Myers, T.D. Jakes all bound for the hellfire. Kanye West, Top Bentley, ninja kick to the chest. You best believe I'm prepared for this battle, and I can see how they treat us like cattle. Great reset on the path coming through. You don't believe not a dang thing I'm telling you. Mr. Magoo type blind, but you can't see. Take advice from celebrities on TV and in movies. Dr. Fauci line right through his teeth. Take a real deep look at what lies beneath. We're coming to expose the The truth will set the world on fire. Unbiblical teaching, cherry picking verses from the Bible and reaching. Preaching your own interpretation, deceiving your flock, leaving them to damnation. Tongue speaking and chants, walking like dogs, crawling on the ground, fake Holy Ghost dance. Pied Piper, followers are like mice, set you up just to worship the Antichrist. My advice, if you hear it, not Holy Ghost, but Kundalini spirit. Demon possession, you follow without question, ignorant to the spot that you get in. Take your ears you desire, get those you admire and raise them up higher. Their motives you do not inquire. Like Elijah, we torch them with fire.